UN resolution against Israeli settlements AT Center of Flynn guilty plea. On Security Council Resolution 2334, the December 2016 Anti-Settlements Resolution, is at the heart of the guilty plea former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn entered on Friday. Flynn is accused of making false statements about his conversations with Russian ambassador to the US Sergey Kislyak. One of the two statements is allegedly about the UN resolution which condemned Israel's settlements as a flagrant violation of international law and which Trump's team sought to have vetoed. Flynn is accused of making false statements about his conversations with Russian ambassador to the US Sergey Kislyak. One of the two statements is allegedly about the UN resolution that condemned Israel's settlements as a flagrant violation of international law and which US President Donald Trump's team sought to have vetoed. Since May 2017, Special Counsel Robert Mueller has been investigating links between Russia and Trump's presidential campaign. Michael Flynn was forced to resign as National Security Advisor in February 2017 after having misled Vice President Mike Pence about the nature of his conversations with Kislyak. Flynn pleaded guilty on Friday to lying to the FBI about his contacts with Russia, and he agreed to cooperate with prosecutors delving into the actions of Trump's inner circle before he took office. The dramatic turn of events also raised new questions about whether Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, had a role in those Russia contacts. The December 1st court filing states that on or about December 22, 2016, Flynn did not ask the Russian ambassador to delay the vote on or defeat a pending United Nations Security Council resolution, and that the Russian ambassador subsequently never described to Flynn Russia's response to the request. The filing says Flynn misled the FBI about this, which would mean he allegedly did ask the Russian ambassador to delay the vote or defeat the resolution. He is accused of a false statement about that conversation and any subsequent Russian responses to it. In the lead-up to the anti-settlement resolution which angered Jerusalem, Trump's team had urged the U.S. to veto the resolution. On December 22, Trump tweeted the resolution being considered in the UN Security Council regarding Israel should be vetoed. Egypt postponed the vote on December 22. However, it passed on December 23 with 14 in favor and the U.S. abstaining. According to an article at Foreign Policy in February 2017, Michael Flynn played the